Y'all know what I'm saying. My money like it's glowing, my beard like it's glowing. I guess it's the light hitting me just the perfect way, and it's like make my beard glisten. But I don't got no gel on this thing right now. But anywho, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the welterweight bout between Garry versus Darian Weeks. And I see this one right here is I just feel like Darian Weeks is getting rushed a little. Well, I mean, neither of them got that many fights. But Garry does have, world championship experience, at least at the Cage Warriors level. So the guy has more experience and more tuning. I feel like Darian Weeks, I feel like he still hasn't really established a style for himself just yet. And I don't think he has any real clear strength that's going to really take him to the next level in the UFC. I feel like he can stick around for a little bit, but I feel like he's a guy they should have gave more time to develop. Like this guy should be, on the regional circuit, probably winning some regional belts, winning some other smaller league belts, working to win them smaller league belts, and then bring them back in like 3 years or something like that. Right now, I just feel like this fight is a big jumper for him at this point. I feel like Garry has had more time to develop. I feel like Garry, defensively, that's his biggest flaw right now. He can be very hittable. He likes to drop his arms, and he's not as technical or as smooth or as hard to hit as he thinks he is. So it's like, I don't know what to think about him. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to say, but it's irrelevant right now. In this fight, I feel like Darian Weeks is just not the less sharper fighter with his hands. Wrestling, like he does have a bit of wrestling, but Garry, I feel, can shut his wrestler down pretty easily. He has the length, he has the reach, he has the speed. He's the more technical fighter. I feel like he's gonna get a stoppage in this one. We haven't really seen how tough Darian Weeks is, but let's test it. I'm gonna say Garry could stop him within 3 rounds. I'm gonna say like second round for Garry. I feel like first round kind of be a little bit of fill-out process. Weeks probably gonna have a little bit of steam on his hands early on, and Garry might get touched by that a little bit early. Like I said, he'd be leaning, but he don't really be avoiding much of these shots. But then like start to set up his own hands. As the fight starts to settle down, and Weeks starts to even that fight with Brian Bahrain starts his hands get a little bit sloppy, a little bit wingy, and they start to get less crisp. And then once his hands start to dip off a little bit and start to get wide and telegraph, then you start to see Garry start to really start to sit down and land his own shots and start to set up his counters and touch up Weeks. And then I really just like say that's in the second round. So I'm thinking like late part of that second round he puts him away. So like first round kind of a little bit competitive. Garry just trying to fill him out, trying to slip some shots, trying to avoid some shots, and just touch him with some filler shots. Weeks coming in aggressive, trying to get him out of there early, or at least trying to get to him early, trying to set a statement early, trying to set a pace early. Doing, like I said, pretty competitive fight. Maybe people might say Weeks is winning early, but it really is about the way it's going to be playing. It's like, it's not a case of, Weeks, he took a round, but who's winning the fight is going to be Garry, because Garry, like I said, is letting Weeks throw some shots out there, be aggressive, really expose himself and wear himself out, let him get sloppy out there, and then probably even go for some takedowns that, like I said, just overexerting, like I said, make his own arm heavy, swinging on some shots. They start getting wider and wider, slower and slower. And then Garry, like I said, keeps the same pace and just stays sharper. Like he's not doing as much, but his shots are sharper. And especially when those windows of opportunity, like those big windmill starts coming, time starts to slow down because he's getting tired. Bigger window to land your shots in between those windshield wipers, and put him out second round. And where he started like digging to him and tagging him up with the shorter, sharper shots, and then put him out in the second round. So in this fight, I got Garry via second round TKO.